What's up guys, it's Josh from KeepItTechie, and today I want to do a quick video showing you guys Nitrux Linux. So as I stated in the intro of the video, I wanted to show you guys Nitrux Linux, and this is a Debian based Linux distribution that's been around for a little while. And it uses a custom KDE Plasma desktop, and I'll show you guys all that when we get to it. But first off, let's go over to the Distro watch page so I can read a little bit about it and show you the popularity of the distribution. Okay, so I'm at the Distro watches page, and this is Nitrux Linux. That's the logo. It looks super cool, and they also have an image of the desktop, which is, you know, super dope. I really like the way this distribution looks. Pretty much KDE Plasma is top notch when it comes to looks and the way the desktop environment actually looks. But the desktop environment is basically, it's called NX Desktop, and it's kind of based on KDE, which is what it looked like when I read the description of the actual distribution. Now, I've never installed this distribution. It looks pretty cool, but it says the OS type Linux is based on Debian unstable as well as Ubuntu LTS, and the origin is actually Mexico. The architecture is x86-64, and the desktop environment, like I was saying, is that NX Desktop. And it says KDE in parentheses, so I'm assuming it's based on it, or it has a lot of the KDE packages installed on the desktop environment. And in the category, it says desktop, live media. The status is active, and one cool thing about it is actually number 52 on the popularity list. And you guys know, on the first page of Distro Watches page, on the right hand side, they have a ranking system where they rank the top 100 distributions that are out there, and it's all based on clicks and hits on the actual websites for the various distributions. Like if you click on the download page, it goes as a click or a hit, I believe, and then they calculate the rankings based on how many people are actually going there and clicking on the download link for the distribution. But just reading the description, it basically says Nitrux is a Linux distribution based on Debian unstable branch with additional packages pulled in from Ubuntu LTS repository. Nitrux strives to be a distribution suitable for laptops and desktop computers. Its main desktop environment is NX Desktop, a KDE Plasma desktop enhanced with plasmoids to create a special blend of aesthetics and functionality. The project also focuses on using redistributable portable applications using the app image format. Registration with an email address was required to download this distribution, which I didn't see that wasn't an issue for me. I didn't see that, but it says, however, public downloads have been available since mid 2020. And then let's scroll down a little bit on it just to read a little more. But over the past 12 months, it was at 56. 6 months, 51. That's just the popularity hits, and it averages out by the timeline. And we scroll down here. This is the actual website, which I already have it up, but it's nxos.org. So check that out if you want to download the distribution. But let's go over to that page right fast. And this is the actual page. It has a pretty cool website, set up, and it looks like they're trying to build a community behind this thing. But it says Nitrux is a Linux desktop distribution directly based on Debian. And one cool thing about it, it uses the Calamares installer. That's always good to see. And the latest version is Nitrux 1.5.1. And the reason I wanted to show this one, because this release was actually released on the 3rd, I believe. So a couple days ago, you know what I'm saying? When this thing was actually, probably about a week ago, was when the latest version released. And they say they have some cool updates to it, so I wanted to go down and check it out. You could read the release notes if you want to, but it's there just showing you guys. But basically, you just go to download right here, and this will download the ISO. Now, one thing about the distribution, the ISO is like 3.1 gigabytes. So that's pretty big, you know what I'm saying? That's because it has a lot of applications pre-installed in it. So you would need a USB drive to actually install it if you're installing it directly on hardware. Now let's go on and get to the install. Okay, cool. So I have the ISO, already set up. This is my virtual machine. I basically gave it 8 gigabytes of memory, 32 gigabyte hard drive, and 2 processing cores. I know it's kind of overkill. I could have used 1, but I just went on and used 2, whatever. But I wanted to stop right here just to show you guys what it actually shows up, or what actually shows up when you boot up the operating system or boot up the live ISO. So it basically has 2 options. It says boot Nitrux live, and then boot Nitrux live live in full debug mode. Now let's just press enter, that way we can get to it. But if you press C down, if you look down below right here, it says C grub command line, and then enter to select the ISO. So we're gonna press enter to select the live ISO. Boom, and it'll go through the boot process, and I'll correct the screen so you guys can actually see it a little better once we get the operating system back up. So I'll be back in a second. All right, cool. So this is the live ISO. It brings up a regular desktop. This is basically what it'll look like when we install it. But as you can see, it has the install script here. So that's all you got to do to install it. That'll start up the Calamares installer. So I'm gonna double click on that. We can go through it right fast. And it's super custom, the way they have it set up. So let's walk through the process. But very simple. Just select the language, just click on it. It already has American English, selected. Let's press next, and then also you can select your region, and I need to click Americas, and this will bring up the US. So I should be able to find Los Angeles in here, which is what I'm gonna use for mine. So let's go here. Yep, there we go. So Los Angeles, select that, press next. And then I'm gonna just use the generic 105 keyboard. That's fine, it's the default, but you can go through and select your layout if you need to change it up to a different one. But let's hit next. We're good to go. And then now here you go down and create your user. I'm gonna just create a user called Josh, and I'm gonna go down here to the computer name, and I'm gonna name it Nitrux, and then go down to, and then add our passwords in. Boom, add it in twice, and then let's go down. They have the root password, so you want to go down and set a password for the root account, which is fine. Just make sure you remember what it is, and then never check this box. That's what I recommend for any new user. You want to always log into your system just like any other operating system. You want to make sure you're logging into it, and then when you walk away from it, it locks, so you can protect your privacy. Nobody can get into your system and do anything they're not supposed to. So let's hit next, and then right here, this is the disk setup. So all we have to do is hit erase disk. That's what I'm gonna do. That's the easiest way. It'll just erase the disk, and it'll partition the drive and all that stuff and set everything for you. And as you can see, I have a 32 gigabyte hard drive, and as you can see, I use ButterFS, which is super cool. And then that's the bootloader location, which is that same partition. So let's hit next. Boom, and this is just a summary of everything, and then we can hit install. And then once this thing is done, I'll go down and come back and show you guys the desktop environment and just go through it and show you guys how it all operates and everything. It's a super cool distribution, and I think you guys really should check this thing out. But if you have questions, drop them in there, and if you can, go down there and like, share and subscribe to the channel. I always forget to say that because I'm not really no excellent content creator. What I'm saying? I kind of do these videos just to kind of show people the operating systems before installing it, what I'm saying, just so you can get an idea of what it actually looks like and everything when you go through the install. But just go down and hit the share button if you can, subscribe if you're not subscribed. I definitely appreciate it, and I'll be back when the operating system boots up. All right, cool. So the install has completed, and basically this what's going to show up. It says all done. It already has the checkbox, click for restart now. So all you have to do is hit next or done, and it'll go through and finish and restart the system. So let's just hit that right now, or actually done. There we go. And so I'll be back when the system comes out. All right, cool. So I just wanted to show you guys the welcome page, just so you guys can actually see it, but it's booted up. It's good to go. There is no more like configuration or anything. It's fully installed. So once we log into it, we should be good to go. And it'll bring up the desktop, you know, and that's super cool. They could put these graphics in here. I really like that. You know, that's super cool. And I'm a fan of dark themes, and it automatically has a dark theme on here. So I'm super excited about this actual distribution. But first thing I want to do is go into the settings, and I want to show you guys this. I'll show you guys this while I correct the display settings, but that's basically how you go into the settings. It's right there on the dock, which is super cool. And this dock is dope. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to try this out on my main system just to show you guys a cool dock or whatever, and actually use it for myself. You know what I'm saying? So let's go down and close that. But that's basically how you go to the settings right there. It's basically a settings manager. You can go through and make all your changes here. So appearance, workspace, behavior, window manager. You know, it's pretty much like KDE. You know what I'm saying? If you've used it. And then, you know, personalization, then you got your network, firewall, NX firewall, you know, connection settings, you know, input devices, so hardware, all your hardware, display settings, which is what I just went to, Thunderbolt, removable storage, printers, KDE Connect, you know, power management, and then systems administration. So software upgrades, so they do have an application to do updates on the system. And then right here it says systems information, and let's click on that right fast so we can get a little more information right fast. But as you can see, it's Nitrux 1.5.1, and this is build.310721, and that's the website again. And this is the KDE Plasma version, so 5.22.4, KDE Frameworks version 5.84.0, Qt version 5.15.3, kernel version is 5.13.7. So we have that, and then the graphics platform, which is super cool, they use Wayland. So that's dope. And then the hardware, the processor, like I said, I gave this thing, you know, it's a virtual processors and like 8 gigs of memory, you know, graphics processor. It's just the basic setup that I use for our virtual machines. So let's go back, and I wanted to go to the software update spot, and then we can go through. Right now it's set to manual, but this is super cool that they have automatic. You can turn it on with just a click of the button, but manually, or you can set it to automatic. That way it'll install all the security patches for you. But let's go on and close this thing out. But that's the system settings. I just wanted to go through that and show you guys that first. And then up here at the top, you know what I'm saying, and let me go on and kind of move my face to the other side. Bam, so I'm over here in the left corner. That's super cool. Now I just wanted to show you this, but if you click here, that brings up the calendar as well as events. You know, that's super cool. It says please configure your location. I'm not sure why it's not pulling it up. I thought I set it when I installed it, but maybe that's more of a detailed location right there. I'm not 100% sure, but you can actually pin that so it'll stay, you know, on the side if you want this thing pinned to the side constantly, which, you know, I don't recommend. I don't really like it that way, but you have that option there. But if you hit here, this is the down arrow. This will bring up all the other statuses and notifications. So I'm not going to go through them, but I mean, it's basically battery, you know, vault, night color, you know, KDE Connect, you know, just certain things that could pop up for you. But here is the volume, so you can change the volume. This is the network connection, so if you click on it, it brings up a full bar or whatever, and you can go into the network connectings and modify things from here. But down here at the bottom, as you can see, it has proxy, you know, shared resources, network interface, SSL certificates. So super cool that all that's there. And I forgot to show you guys, but it has an airplane mode, so you can just click that and it'll turn it off, so it'll disconnect it from everything. You know, right there you have that option right there. And then here is the notification. So as you can see, it has some updates, and I'll run that in a second so you guys can see it in the terminal. But then this is just the notification for it connecting to the internet. But let's press off of it. And then this is the updates alert. So if we click on it, it'll bring up the updates alert or the updates manager, and it'll go through and fetch the updates. And then I'm not sure what the process is to install them. I believe it's the same as in KDE. You just hit install, you know, or make changes, you know what I'm saying, update all. There we go. So they all selected and everything, but I want to show you guys in the terminal. But you could easily update it here, and it'll pop up there at the top right, basically letting you guys know that it has some updates, you know what I'm saying. It's super cool. Now, one thing about this thing that I really like is the dock. It's not too many distributions out there that actually have a dock at the bottom. A lot of them will have a dock that's all the way across, you know what I'm saying, and it all depends on what you're using, you know what I'm saying. I use XFCE, so I installed the dock for XFCE. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but there is a dock for it. But not too many distributions actually come with the dock for you, you know, so that's super cool to actually see. But it has your terminal. You can quickly get to your settings. Firefox, it has Firefox installed. Let's go down and open up Firefox so we can look at what version of Firefox we actually have installed on here. So we'll go into is it more tools? No, help. Sorry about that. Under help, it should have the about Firefox, and then this will tell us the version we have. So Firefox version 90.0. So good to go. 64-bit version, good to go. So let's go down and close this off, you know, and it will close all the tabs. There we go. And I like how this thing is automatically set up to hide, you know, if you have an application open that's like full screen or whatever. But this is Nota, so this application is basically a notepad, so basic text editor, you know. And then here is the file explorer, and it says index there, so that's basically what it is. So let's go over here to the about, and I just want to see what it is. So index 1.2.2. so it's an index, allows you to navigate, organize, and preview your computer files. So super cool that that's there. Let's go on and get that off. But I like the little icon pack that they have installed. That's super cool in the way, you know, this is designed. It actually looks good, you know, in a dark theme. So let's go down and close it up. Boom. So that's our file explorer, and I wanted to show you guys the start menu. So as you can see, this is the start menu. It goes through and shows you all the applications that are on the system, and I'll just look through them right fast, just show you guys what all comes by default. But it has Orc, Booho, Clips, Communications, Discover, you know, of course Firefox, GNU Image, Heroic Games, Index, Inkscape, Install Itch. I'm not sure what that is. I think that's a gaming application. And then KCalc, Kdenlive. That's super cool to see. LibreOffice is installed on here. And I don't know what this is. Kvanum, LMMS, NitroShare, Pix, Shelf, Spectacle, and I believe that's is that the screenshot application? Yeah, screenshot. So that's what that is. But let's go back to the start menu. But yeah, that's the screenshotter station. That's basically your terminal. System monitor, and I want to show you guys this so you guys can see, you know, what it looks like, the system monitor looks like. So you can go through overview, you know, applications, you can go through the history, you can look at the history, the processors or processes, I'm sorry. So that is a cool systems monitor. System settings, like I said, and then Wave, I'm not sure what that is, but Wine is on here as well. And then nothing is on right here. This is like your frequently used applications. So once you start opening them up, they'll start showing up here. That's why that thing is blank right now. But that's pretty much the start menu. And lastly, let me go to the terminal right fast and just run updates. And that's one of the first things you want to do when you install any new operating system. You want to go down and run some updates. So I'm gonna go down and run updates on here. So basically a sudo apt that uses the app package manager, and then I'm gonna upgrade as well in one command. So boom boom, sudo apt upgrade, and then -y, and press enter. and type in our sudo password, and we'll run through the quick updates for the system. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Please check out Nitrux. You know, it's a super cool distribution that I think you guys should check out, especially if you're new to Linux. It's super simple to install, and it's very easy to get used to using because it's super user friendly. So definitely check out this distribution. But please like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and of course, keep it techie.